everybody. Thanks again for joining myself, Alice Cowgill, and lovely Mike from the Dreamask company here again at Marshall Meadows, just south of the border in Berwick-upon-Tweed. And as you can see, we've got some beautiful weather, lovely sunny Northumbrian weather again that's joined us. And today we're going to be looking at a little bit more about the types of masks that are available and how you came to the design. But I must just say, when Ollie came back and said he'd been asked to shoot this infomercial, you weren't exactly what I was expecting. You certainly weren't what I'd envisaged behind a sewing machine with lace and silk and all those beautiful materials. So what I think myself and the viewers would really love to know is just how it all came about, where did these skills come from, and the idea as well that it was all incorporated.
I do hope you're not being sexist.
I'm not, no, not at all, not at all, equal rights.
Well, I left school, Alice, and became an apprentice draftsman, an engineering draftsman, a design engineer in effect. And so that, I like problem solving, and I think we all like things to do what they say on the tin. If we get into a car, we want it to start when we turn the key. We want it to go. If we buy a television, we want it to, you know, do what we want it to do. If we buy a hairdryer, you know, obviously I wouldn't. But
yeah,
you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And so when I became a policeman, a copper, down in London, having been made redundant, etc. And I started to have these real problems. I came back. My mother used to suffer terribly from migraine headaches. And of course, we're going back way beyond when you were born. we're going back 45 years. When you perhaps saw an article in a magazine, or you saw an advert, or what have you. And actually, this is the first one that I ever bought. And I bought this as a present from my mother because I hoped that it would help with the migraines.
So this is where it all began. This is the original sleeping mask. From
Mayfair.
Wow.
A very, very expensive item, even 45 years ago. I can't remember what it cost, but it was a small fortune.
It's gorgeous. It is lovely. But that still doesn't tell me how you even learned the skills to, you know, make the equivalent of that, you know, today.
Well, over the years, and as you can see from my face, there'll be many of those. From designing and drawing, I went to actually welding up steel and gluing and screwing and nailing timber together to make different products and items. And I don't actually see a lot of difference between engineering in cotton and engineering in steel or timber. I like things to work, and when I was coming up and trying to buy in desperation from magazine and newspaper adverts to try and solve my sleep problem.
So what we've got here is your journey to the perfect sleep mask then, essentially. So we've got all these different masks that you've bought over the years for your mother or for yourself. And I guess those helped you.
This one was not for me.
I don't know about that, Mike. I can see that on you.
I saw this in a window of the most expensive lingerie shop in Knightsbridge, and I looked at it with the sheep embroidered, and I knew it wouldn't work, and I knew it wasn't a sleeping mask, and it was phenomenally expensive. But I just couldn't help myself, because that is about as far away from that or that or that as I think you could possibly get.
And you know, the difference is so evident. So I imagine, you know, with this and, you know, all of these that were on the market at that time, how much work and, you know, how much problem solving was involved in, you know, actually making something that you felt did, as you know, it said on the tin, it was going to help you sleep then?
Well, I think the difference is, Alice, my Dreamask was born out of need.
Right, okay.
I wasn't a professional who worked for a company who did shower hats and makeup bags, and somebody said one day, oh, I suppose we've got to put a sleeping mask in the range. And you've told me, I've never actually worn that, I've never even looked through it, you've just told me that you can actually see the pattern. If you hold that up to your eyes, you can see the pattern of that through. You know, we discussed in the previous about pinhole camera effect.
Yeah, I was trying all of these on just to kind of feel, you know, what the difference was, and how they felt, and how they lay on the face. And some of them slipped off within seconds, others like this one I could see the pattern through.
And let's look at that. I mean, one piece of elastic and not even an adjuster. And it wasn't cheap.
No. So it's all very well saying, you know, one size fits all. Of course it doesn't. Everyone's got a different shaped head, we've all got, you know, someone's got a larger face than, you know, than somebody else, and vice versa. So
what was particularly annoying about that one, Alice, was that it was a product just like that which got me out of one of the department stores where I used to sell the Dreamask. The buyer changed, and when I rang up to see if they wanted another order, I was told I'd been discontinued. Yeah, because the buyer couldn't be bothered to deal with a single product or company, and she just wanted, you know, whether it worked or not, who cared? But it went on the shelf with a range of other shower caps and makeup bags.
So you're approaching this from a completely different angle. You've asked me, and you know, I know there's other, let's call them brand ambassadors now out there for the Dreamask company, because you've nailed the design. We can honestly say that you've put the research in, and actually you've developed a product that works, and that it's universal, because we've got these adjustable elastic straps, and you've got two of them as well.
Sure, yeah. I mean, so many of these that you see on the market today, I mean, this one, the tag on it says West Germany, so that tells you that's at least 28 years old. But it's flimsy, it's a silly little piece of elastic. I mean, I don't know, I know a lot of Germans, I've been to Germany many, many times, and I've never seen anyone with grooves in their ears to hold elastic. It's just absolutely flimsy, and as you know, it wouldn't stay on your face 5 seconds.
No.
But I bought it in good faith. That's one going back to when I was actually desperately trying to help get some sleep and get a hospital.
Well, yes, right. And this one's pretty plain compared to some of the fancy ones that we've got on here. So,
well, fancy's a problem too. I mean, if you look for sleep, well, I call them eye masks on the internet. There are hundreds out there, but they all seem to think that what's on the outside is the important bit. I mean, so many of them have 2 words saying, the second one of which is usually off. But, you know, what does that do? And here's looking at you, kid. You know, and then you don't bother with actually whether or not it keeps the light out or whether it would stay on your face. I mean, I just could have screamed. And these aren't airline giveaways. These are being sold as sleeping, or were, you know, however many, 20, 30, 40 years ago when I bought them. You know, you can forgive the airlines.
Sure.
They're engineering down to penny. You're supposed to wear it for an hour or two to basically say to the person sitting next to you, look, I don't want to have a conversation about your pigeons. And I mean, some of the ones that you buy now in travel, in supermarkets and things, they have little stickers on that say, wake me for meals, you know, so that when you're in an aeroplane, the stewardess knows to say, oh, it's dinner time, sir, and what have you.
Right.
But, I mean, the funny stories behind some of them. This one was very, very expensive, bought in St James's in the centre of London, and from Paris, a designer firm in Paris. This actually features in the film Irma la Douce.
Oh, wow.
Jack Lemmon and Shirley MacLaine. And Shirley MacLaine actually wears this. These didn't have elastics, they had string, which you had to actually, Shirley MacLaine actually ties a bow behind her head while she's smoking a cigarette. And the funny thing about that movie is, if you look as she leans forward, she actually singes the sheet with the cigarette.
So all these people are spending their well-earned money that they've worked hard for on something that looks a little bit fancy,
yes.
that appeals to the eye, you know, it's your favourite colour,
right. Yeah.
but, or you know, you've seen it in a movie,
yeah.
but in actual fact, they have little thought or, you know, little design input, have they?
That's right, and I mean, one of the things that upsets me slightly is when I say, well, you know, I make sleeping masks, I sell sleeping masks, and people say to me, oh yeah, I had one of them, I couldn't get on with it, and you sort of dig a little deeper, and it either came in a box with some face creams and what have you, or they got it from an aeroplane, you know, when they were on holiday, and you think, well, sadly, you know, I've got to fight that negativity,
yeah,
which the cheap brands, yeah, they're up saying, don't be silly. Yeah. And people, we talked about melatonin, we talked about the body clock, we talked about the circadian rhythms. It is absolutely vital to all of our health and our ability to work and perform at our best when we're in our jobs. And who doesn't like to go home and think, I nailed that today.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
I did that really, really well today. And you think, why? Because my Dreamask allowed me to get 7 hours, 8 hours of whatever it is you need.
Restful sleep. And I think it sounds to me that your background, although a little bit unusual, or a little bit unexpected, to say the least, has really helped where you are today in this product that we've got here, purely because you've approached it from a completely different angle. You've not looked at it as a fashion accessory or addition to, you know, your beauty products that you might get in a pack, that you've just said you've come at it with a problem and you've solved that through trials and you know, different additions and concepts that you've had people actually go out and try, and you've welcomed that feedback, and I suppose at some point there would be some criticism, some constructive criticism, to help us to where we are today, so that we can now launch this new product, the
30-year-old product.
The 30-year-old product.
With tweaks.
With tweaks. And we can now say to people, not just shift workers, but anybody who just wants a really restful night's sleep.
And who doesn't? You know, the Dalai Lama said that sleep is the greatest meditation.
Well, that's when we go to bed and we rest and we switch off, don't we, from our day-to-day troubles and stresses that come at us, and then we can just finally go,
well, there are so many different types of insomnia which the Dreamask solves. You speak to some people and they wake up and they look at the clock by their bed and it's 2 o'clock, and they look at it again 10 minutes later, it's 10 past 2, and they start to internally worry about the time that they're not sleeping. Once you've got into the habit of just slipping it on and drifting off, when you wake up, why would you want to? Why would you want to take it off? You know, you're not going to look at the clock, you're not going to look at the light outside and think, oh, it's 3 hours before I get up and the light's waking me. We're creatures of habit. If we go to bed knowing that we're going to have a wonderful night's sleep, then we'll go calm and we'll go into a place of regeneration and just like a warm bath. If it's a place where we lie and we toss and we turn and we agonise over why we're not sleeping and we're going to feel dreadful again tomorrow, the same as we did yesterday, then you go to bed expecting not to sleep,
That's right.
and it's very, very damaging. I know, I've got the medical history to prove it.
Well, I think what you've done here with these masks is just fantastic, and I'm sure everyone else will agree that it's something that, you know, if you spend wisely, there's going to be point spend it twice on the product that you're going to wear once and you're going to chuck away. Why not invest in something a little bit better, much better in fact, something of really great quality, something that's had 30 years worth of investment of time and trials, something you can wear and actually enjoy. So I think you've done a fantastic job, mate.
Thanks, Alice.
Well done. Thanks, everybody. And I'm sure you'll agree that the products are fantastic, and we'll give you all the information about where you can go and purchase one as well.
Thank you.
Thank you.